Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from group 6 and we are going to explain the materials structure classes, and the member of group is Dara Pangestika, Khairunisa, Indah Permatasari, and Aulia Santika. Okay, first we are going to explain concept of determiner. A determiner is a word that defines or qualifies the meaning of a noun by conveying such ideas and concepts as quantity or certainty. Next, functions of determiner. First is determiners are used in a very case to clarify the noun. Second is adjectives, unlike determiners, cannot have corresponding pronouns. The third is determiners may be used to demonstrate or define something or someone. And the fourth is determiners may state the difference between nouns. Types of determiners. The first is articles. Articles is the main group of determiners with the words a or an and the, which are used before a noun. There are two kinds of articles. The first is definite article and the second is indefinite article. Definite articles are those that point a particular person or thing. It can be used in front of singular as well as plural countable and uncountable noun. And indefinite articles are those articles that leave a person or thing undetermined or confused. The second is demonstrative. The word this, that, those, this are known as demonstrative determiners, as they point out something with its sign. Example, this is my laptop. Demonstrative use as pronoun, subject of the verb, is. The third is possessive. The word our, my, his, her, or etc. modify the noun following to show ownerships or possessions, are known as possessive determiners. Example, is that car yours? Yours is a possessive determiner followed by the noun house which it modifies. Okay, the fourth is quantifiers. The word any, few, some, more, little, much, or etc. are followed by nouns which they modify. Quantifiers are used before countable or uncountable nouns. For example, little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Okay, next material is qualifier. Qualifier occurs in the positions just before an adjectival or adverbial. Functions of qualifier is to modify, and the word following qualifier, that is the word modified, is called the head. Okay, next type of qualifier. The first is qualifiers of quantity. For example, some. The second is qualifiers of time. Example is occasionally, sometimes, now and again, usually, or etc. And the third is qualifiers of certainly. Example is I guess, I think, I know. Okay, next is qualifiers of possibility. For example, could, may, likely, possible. And the next is qualifiers of necessity. For example, is must, should, required, have to, or etc. And the last is qualifiers of relative quality. For example, best, worst, finest, sharpest, or etc. Must, all, none.
Okay, my name is Dara Pangestika. Here I will explain the preposition. Definition of preposition. A preposition is a word that shows the relationship between a noun or pronoun and some other word or element in the rest of a sentence. Next, the main ways of using preposition. Here, divided by three. The first is noun and preposition. The second is verb and preposition, and the last is adjective and preposition. Noun and preposition. The first there is noun plus to. For the example, answer to. And the sentence is her answer to the teacher's question was incorrect. And next, noun plus of. For the example, sound of. And the sentence is, can you hear the sound of birds chirping? And last, there is noun plus in. For the example, interest in. And the sentence is, the girl had an interest in archaeology. Verb and preposition. Preposition can be used with verb are to, for, with, of, in, and from. The first there is verb plus to. For the example, travel to, and the sentence is, I am traveling to England tomorrow. And next there is verb plus for. For the example, wait for, and the sentence is, I am waiting for the bus. And then verb plus with. For the example, meet with, and the sentence, will you meet with her? And then verb plus of. For the example, dream of, and the sentence, I dream of a better life. And then verb plus in. For the example, live in, and the sentence, Vinny lives in Seattle. And then verb plus from. For the example, come from, and the sentence is, Rara comes from Japan. And the last, verb plus at. For the example, arrive at, and the sentence is, we arrived at the hotel in the morning. Types of preposition. That is divided by four, and the first is preposition of time, and the second is preposition of place, the third is preposition of movement, and the last is preposition for direction. Adjective and preposition. Preposition can form phrases with adjective to give further context to the action, emotion, or things the adjective is describing. Like verbs and nouns, adjective can be followed by to, about, in, for, with, at, and by. For the example, we are sorry for your loss. And then, is he still angry at work? Preposition of time. Preposition of time include at, on, in, before, and after. They are used to help indicate when something happens, or will happen. For example, I was born on July 4th, 1980. And next, I was born in 1980. And the last is, I take a bath at 5 p.m. Preposition of place. Preposition of place include at, on, in. And the first, at is used to indicate the full address. For the example, I live at Arjuna Street number 21. And then on in use if the address given is only the name of the street. For the example, I live on Gatot Kaca Street. And the last, in is used for the name of the city or country. For the example, they live in Grobogan. Preposition of movement. Preposition of movement describe how something or someone moves from one place to another. The most commonly used preposition of movement is to, which usually serve to highlight that there is movement toward a specific destination. For the example, he always walks to school from his home. I will go to bed when I am tired. Preposition for direction. Preposition that show the direction and usually used into, toward, onto, out of, to, from, over. And the example, the students come into the class. The plane fly over the forest.
I am Aulia. I will explain about auxiliary. Definition of auxiliary. An auxiliary is helping verb. It is used used with a main verb to form a verb class. For example, she was calling her friend. Here the word calling is the main verb and the word was is an auxiliary verb. The verb be, have, and do are often referred to as primary auxiliaries. They have a grammatical function in a sentence. The words be, have, do, can, could, may, might, shall, should, must, will, would, use, need, dare, ought are called auxiliaries. The rest in the above list are called modal auxiliaries, which are also known as modals. They express attitude like permission, possibility, and etc., not the form of the primary auxiliaries. Present tense of auxiliary verb be, am, is, are. Past tense of auxiliary verb be, was, were. Present tense of auxiliary verb do, does. Past tense of auxiliary verb do, did. Present tense of auxiliary verb have, has, have. Past tense of auxiliary verb have, had. Next, the function of modal auxiliaries can usually express potential or ability. It is also used to indicate permission. For example, Ram can bake a cake. This is ability. Can you breathe with door? This is ability. The doctor said, you can play basketball again. This is permission. Next, could is used as the past tense of can in indirect speech. It is used to indicate ability in the past. Could is also used to suggest a weak possibility in the future. For example, Rob said he could solve the problem. Ability in indirect speech. He could drive a car when he was young. This is ability in the past. She could leave on Friday. This is weak possibility. Next, may is usually used when we ask for permission. It is also used to express a wish or to indicate a strong possibility. For example, may I borrow your copy of Julius Caesar? This is permission. May you always prosper. This is wish. There may be a roadblock today. This is possibility. Next, might is used as the past equivalent of may. It suggests a weak possibility. For example, we might leave town next week. Shall or should is used in the second and third person to express a promise or even a threat. For example, you should receive your wage tomorrow. This is promise. He shall not remain the captain anymore. This is threat. Which pen should I buy? This is seeking advice. Next, will is used in the second and third person to express simple future time. Would is used to make polite requests. For example, he will not speak. He will come here. Would you like to have a cup of tea? This is polite request. Next, will is used in the first person to express willingness, determination, promise, habit, intention, or even a threat. For example, I will do the work. This is willingness. I will achieve my goal. This is determination. We will help you. This is promise. He will watch TV for hours. This is habit. I will go to meet her today. This is intention. Next, must expresses necessity or obligation. For example, we must reach on time. It can express fixed determination. For example, I must be allowed to express my wish. Next, ought expresses moral obligation and desirability. It is always followed by to plus verb. For example, we ought to put in our best effort. We ought to win. It can be used to indicate present or future time. For example, I ought to apologize to him. Next, example, we used to go swim in the evenings. Next, need denotes necessity or obligation. For example, we need to visit this place once. It is commonly used in negative and interrogative. For example, he need not give up studies. Need as a finite verb means want or require. For example, he does not need your money. Next, dare means be bold enough to. It is commonly used in interrogative and negative sentence. For example, how dare you argue with me? Okay, the next material about pronoun. Definition of pronoun. A pronoun is a word that refers to or takes the place of a noun. The noun being referred to is called the antecedents. The identity of the pronoun is made clear by the antecedents. For example, the boy said that he was tired. There are many different types of pronouns. The first, personal pronouns, are pronouns that refer to a specific person or thing in a sentence and can be divided into two groups, nominative and objective. Nominative personal pronouns can act as the subject of the sentence. I, you, he, she, it, we, they. For example, I went to the store after work. You should not go to class if you are sick. And objective personal pronouns, on the other hand, acts as object of a sentence. Me, you, him, her, it, us, them. For example, Alex came out with Joe and me. Melissa really likes him. And second, possessive pronouns are pronouns that show ownership. In the other words, something belongs to someone else. My or mine, your or yours, his, her or hers, its, our or ours, their or theirs. For example, that book is mine. Their shoes are under the bed. Third, reflexive pronouns are pronouns that are used to show that the subject of the sentence is receiving the action of the verb. Myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourself, themselves. For example, she can handle the situation herself. We can write the paper ourselves. Fourth, intensive pronouns are pronouns that are used only to place emphasis on the subject and are not essential to the meaning of the sentence. Note, these pronouns look the same as reflexive pronouns, but they act differently in the sentence and are always placed next to the subject that they are emphasizing: myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourself, themselves. For example, you yourself must go to the police station. Here, the pronoun yourself is used only to place emphasis on the subject you and does not change the meaning of the sentence. 5. Demonstrative pronouns are pronouns that are used to identify nouns and answer the question which one. This, that, this, those. For example, these are the books that John was talking about. Here the pronouns this identifies which books John was talking about. 6. Interrogative pronouns are pronouns that are used only in reference to a question: who, what, which, whom, whose. For example, which one of these pants is yours? Who is that girl? 7. Relative pronouns are pronouns that are used to connect clarifying information to nouns or other pronoun within a sentence: who, that, which, whom, whose, whoever, whichever, whomever, whatever. For example, with whom did Alex go? The letter should be addressed to. 8. In indefinite pronouns are pronouns that are used in reference to a person or thing that is not specific or not known. Indefinite pronouns are also used to identify a general group of people or things: everyone, everybody, anyone, anybody, somebody, most, all, each, every, some, none, one, few, both, many, several. For example, everybody has to take the writing proficiency examination in order to graduate. All of the seniors were excited for graduation. Note: singular indefinite pronouns must always take singular verb. And the last, reciprocal pronouns are pronouns that are used to refer a mutual set of people: each other, one other, and one another.
Okay, the last material is pronoun. Definition of pronoun. A pronoun is a word that refers to or takes the place of a noun. The noun being referred to is called the antecedent. The identity of a pronoun is made clear by the antecedent. For example, the boy said that he was tired. The next is table of pronouns. The first is personal pronouns. Personal pronouns are pronouns that refer to a specific person or things in a sentence and can be divided into two groups. There is nominative and objective. The second is possessive pronouns. Are pronouns that show ownership. In other words, something belongs to someone else: my or mine, your or yours, his, her or hers, it, our or ours, their or theirs. For example, that book is mine. Their socks are under the bed. The third is reflexive pronouns. Are pronouns that are used to show that the subject of the sentence is receiving the action of the verb: myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourself, and themselves. The fourth is intensive pronouns. Are pronouns that are used only to place emphasis on the subject and are not essential to the meaning of the sentence. The fifth is demonstrative pronouns. Are pronouns that are used to identify nouns and answer the question which one. There is this, that, that, and those. The sixth is interrogative pronouns. Are pronouns that are used only in reference to a question: who, what, which, whom, and whose. The seventh is relative pronouns. Are pronouns that are used to connect clarifying information to nouns or other pronouns within a sentence: who, that, which, whom, whose, wherever, whichever, whomever, and whatever. The eighth is identified pronouns. Are pronouns that are used in reference to a person or things that is not specific or not known. Indefinite pronouns are also used to identify a general groups of people or things. There is everyone, everybody, anyone, anybody, somebody, most, all, each, every, some, none, one, few, both, many, and several. And the last is reciprocal pronouns. Are pronouns that are used to refer to a mutual set of people: each other, each others, one another's, and one another's. Okay, there are the material from group 6. Sorry for any mistakes, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.